You can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want to do.
It's comfortable, chill, shoot the shit.
Yeah. What's up, guys? This is the Ralphie and Ryan Show, episode number 17?
17.
Nice. I am Rafael Velasco, aka Rafael the Realtor. Sitting in with my co-host, the internet sensation, Mr. Ryan Reynolds. And today we got a bad dude. A real weightlifter, Ken Nunez. I reached out to Ken on Instagram because he is lifting some serious weight. Ken, what is your what kind of weight are you lifting? Big three.
Right now, it's just squat, bench, and deadlift for powerlifting. So my squat, 600, bench is 405. But for competition, you have to pause bench. So I gotta see what that is. And deadlift is 600.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? 'Cause, geez, I saw one of your posts where you said that you just started squatting 7 months ago. So how long ago was that?
So I've been like bodybuilding since I was like 13, but literally just upper body. No, never trained legs. Once in a while I'll do calves, you know. But yeah, I since I got sober, I was about a year in sober, and I was getting pretty into my bodybuilding, and I realized, you know, I gotta start training legs because my whole upper body's growing. And I asked this guy, he was a pretty well shaped, you know, like
At the gym?
yeah. And
Where were you going?
LA Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just asked him, hey, do you have time? Can you teach me how to squat? You know, and it's kind of awkward, but yeah, he taught me how to squat. I had to use an elevated heel. I don't know if you guys squat or not.
No.
But yeah, in order to hit depth, in order to stay upright when you squat, you gotta have that ankle mobility. And yeah, I learned all that stuff. So started squatting 1 year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah.
Dude, so you started weightlifting at 13 years old. What got you into weightlifting at such a young age?
I lived in an apartment complex right next to a gym. And yeah, I used to go play soccer there and used to see all the big guys walking in the back, you know, lifting weights, stringers, you know. And, you know, I thought that looked pretty crazy. I want to do that. And, but I wasn't, you had to be like 14, so I had to lie about my age to get in.
To get in?
Yeah.
Were there other little kids in there working out with you?
Nah, no one was interested in lifting weights, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to play soccer and have fun with their friends, and I did too, but I don't know, something about bodybuilding just got my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at 13 you started working out, you just hanging out with dudes at the gym?
No, I always trained alone. Yeah.
You trained alone?
Yeah.
Do you still train alone or not?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were working out what, like arms and chest or whatever, the typical bro?
Yeah, well, I always looked at like big, you know, in YouTube, you know, you get a lot of good content there. But learned, you know, chest goes to triceps, or, you know, shoulders triceps, back and biceps, and, you know, I just used to rotate them around, you know.
Okay.
Give each muscle 72 hours of rest, you know, whatever.
Yeah. And in high school were you working out or?
Yeah, all my life.
Okay.
So from 13 to right now, you've never had a period in your time where you're like, you stopped working out?
Never stopped, but there was a time where I wasn't making any progress. I would just go in just to, you know, get out of the house. It was just a routine, you know.
Yeah. So right now, you're powerlifting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to explain like what the difference between like powerlifting and weightlifting is?
Yeah, there's bodybuilding, powerlifting, there's CrossFit, there's Olympic lifting. You know, there's a lot of, and these are all like self sports, I guess. You know, it's all by yourself. It's not like soccer where you're with the crew, which is great for me because I don't know, I've always been better with myself, you know. Yeah, so powerlifting is squat, bench, and deadlift. It's all strength. And I did not know this was a sport till like 10 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I was all about bodybuilding, and I realized, if I want to get big like these guys, I gotta get on steroids because that's how you grow on muscle. Naturally, you just can't. And that was pretty like, I don't know, it was just hard to deal with,
Yeah.
But when I found out about powerlifting, I was like, this is perfect. I can be natural and be strong. And it's a lot about powerlifting is a lot about technique, and yeah, you just build strength, and it's just.
So the power. So I watched a couple of YouTube videos on powerlifting versus Olympic, right?
A couple videos.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot because I'm trying to prepare for our guest. I didn't know what the hell.
This guy's trying to be a powerlifter. Did he show you? Did he give you the room tour?
No, we can do that afterwards. Well, he's got to actually head out of it. Talk about dedication. He says
You gotta go to the gym.
He can't stick around. You got to go to the gym. He
Nice.
says that's dedication. Right there on Saturday, snowing. I mean, today would be a perfect day to find a bunch of excuses. The weather is crappy. I guess it's going to be super cold tomorrow, right? I mean, you can find plenty of excuses.
Yeah, it's Saturday night. Let's go party, right?
Yeah.
Or the fight,
Yeah, the fight. But I was watching the difference even in squat between Olympic and powerlifting.
Yeah.
Have you? So I've seen some of your squats, and you go way down, right?
Yeah, I do all my like volume work, which means more than one rep. I try to get deep, and but for one rep maxes, you just need to hit break parallel. I haven't competed, in front of judges, but I don't want to get red lights, So you want to make sure you hit that.
Yeah.
But
So this guy at the gym taught you how to properly squat.
yeah.
Prior to this, you weren't doing any leg raises. You weren't doing any nothing. You were doing nothing with legs.
No, I've been a carpenter for 8 years, and I go up and down ladders all day, wearing my pouches, carrying lumber around. So I figured, I got pretty built legs. I don't need to go and train legs more, but I was missing out.
Well, dude, I mean, so you think just based on the fact that you were consistently working out during the day really helped you out when it came to squats?
Yeah, for sure. Because when I started squatting, I was at like at 225 at the beginning of the year. Next year, and I'm at 600 now.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because the strong, see the strongest guys at the gym, and they're squatting 405 maybe, and 6 months later I'm squatting 405 for 10 reps, and
Yeah.
500, and 600.
What do you attribute your success to?
Sobriety, for sure,
Sobriety.
100%. Yeah.
So when did you become sober?
2 years ago. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's. I guess we can get into that.
Yeah. So what got you into alcohol?
Yeah. So.
Well, do you mean just alcohol or?
No, it's
Okay.
just drugs.
Okay.
Drugs and alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about
Full
it.
blown alcoholic and addict.
Yeah.
So.
We all drink before it's the legal age. I'm guessing you're probably hanging out with your boys, right? Like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel. I don't know. Like I was telling you earlier, I've always felt like. Just more anxiety. I've noticed myself have anxiety all my life. Even in elementary school, and I just learned that's just who I am, and I use it to my advantage sometimes. Like I said, it keeps me on my toes and whatnot. But yeah, so when I started, at first it was just weed. I started working on when I was like 13 years old, and no one around me, none of my friends had a job at 13 years old, and so I started getting my my checks, and I started buying like ounces of weed, and
At 13?
yeah, and,
God damn. By yourself? You said you weren't hanging out with no one.
I had a couple friends, but
Yeah,
yeah.
the connect.
Yeah, so back then it was like, get $10 and buy sacks of weed, and here I am buying ounces now. So I'm able to stay high all day, every day, and I couldn't eat without being high, I couldn't watch a show without being high. Felt like I was missing out, So at that age I was already pretty addictive personality there. And I got really sick one time And I remember crawling out of my bed for a bowl so I can get high, you know. And I just thought how ridiculous that was, and then I just stopped, just right there. It was, for some reason, that time it was easy. I mean, weed isn't like physically addictive, so it wasn't like this time. But basically, I stopped and I got really into bodybuilding when I was around like 14, 15, and I got pretty big, and so that went on, but I had some issues growing up with my stepdad. I guess I was like 16 years old. I was working. He said, "You know what? You're not my real son. You gotta pay for rent and food," and that hit me pretty hard. You know, I felt, you know, none of my friends' parents treated them like that. You know,
Right.
it was self-pity, or I don't know. It's just hit me pretty hard, and so I pretty much stopped going to school around that age. And I think that's around when I was freshman year, right? 16?
Yeah, 16, 15, 16, yeah.
Yeah. So I started working. I actually got a job where my stepdad works, and it was weird because we lived in the same house and we never talked. Same with my sister and my mom. We didn't talk for years. It was just weird relationship.
So you and your stepdad would work in the same job site and not talk? Or it was just the same company?
Same company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, just I used to pay my stepdad to go buy me liquor. He used to go and get me a bunch of like Four Locos or big, you know, biggest bottles of liquor they had, and just make sure I always had enough. I always had to, make sure I had enough for the whole week. And every time I got my check, you know, re-up on everything. And it was just, that's how the cycle started. Once I really started making good money, that's when it got bad. I started getting into pills, Xanax, and, you know, other hard drugs.
Yeah. So Xanax, is Xanax an antidepressant?
It's for anxiety, actually.
Anxiety.
Which I thought was perfect because, you know, I've always had anxiety, and I was like, man, this is perfect.
Yeah. Did you get prescribed Xanax?
Eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. So could you walk us through what your anxiety was like? I have seen people that go through like a panic attack or anxiety attack.
Yeah.
Is that similar to what you were having, or was it gradual for you?
Yeah, pretty much just get overwhelmed, really, and I just walk out of the situation, or I got to the point where I just started isolating because I knew I was going to get anxiety, and just going out to public places, it was just unbearable, you know, unless I had Xanax, which I eventually had all the time. I would buy 200 to 300 pills. I would have 200 to 300 pills on me at all times. I only took 1 or 2 pills a day, but I needed to make sure that I had enough, you know, for forever.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of connections, and they would get their prescriptions, and I would buy them off of them. You know, it was just, I had it all figured out.
Pills and like bars?
Yeah, Xanax.
You would take 2 Xanax bars a day?
I would only take them after work.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and you functioned off that?
Yeah, I mean, just I wouldn't go out, you know. So I would go to work, come home, go to the gym, try to go early so I can have time to go home and get fucked up.
Yeah.
It worked for a while until you cross that line where you get physically addicted and you can't stop.
Okay.
And I didn't know when I crossed that line until I guess towards the end, before I went to rehab, my boss sat me to the side and said, "Hey, you know, I would show up with my eyes all bloody and just almost still drunk, you know." He said, "You got to stop this. You know, my dad was an alcoholic, and you know, it's not gonna end well. I can't keep you around if you keep coming in like this." And then, you know, so I thought I'd slow down, you know, stop. And I went home and said I wasn't drinking tonight, and it's like an obsession, you know, you can't. Yeah, and then I was physically addicted. I was
Now, there was drinking at home too. Like you were drinking with your stepdad, or was it just you by yourself?
always alone. Yeah.
Always alone.
Always alone. Yeah, I never really went out and to clubs, you know, because who's driving home sober? You know, nobody's. I'm always being cautious because I got rents. I gotta feed myself. And if I go and get like a DUI or arrested, how am I gonna, you know?
Yeah.
I was always thinking about the consequences, but I think that's part of my anxiety, you know? It's always on my toes.
Yeah.
So,
So you decided to go to rehab after you got confronted by your boss, or did it take a little longer?
it took a while, yeah. So I tried cutting off the alcohol and just the Xanax, but I was still getting withdrawals, and I tried doing the opposite. It was just
From the Xanax or Xanax and alcohol?
from the Xanax.
Okay.
They're both of them, you can die from withdrawals. Because, I don't know if you know, but you can't die from like opioid, like heroin withdrawals. You can't die from that, but you can die from Xanax withdrawals.
Holy shit.
Or alcohol
Do
withdrawals.
you know why that is?
Because you get seizures.
Oh shit, that's right. I heard about that.
Yeah.
That's
And
scary.
Yeah, so I did start getting seizures. Be laying in bed at, I don't know, 2, 3 in the morning, sweating and shaking, you know, just the withdrawals. Just like you see in the movies, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's scary.
you still managed to go to the gym regularly?
Yeah, so I would be in the gym, twitching, walking around, like all fucked up. And I just couldn't stop. I decided I couldn't stop, and this is how I'm gonna live. And I know that I wasn't gonna live very long, you know. I had decided that there's no way out, you know. I can't stop. The thought of rehab had never crossed my mind. So yeah, it got to the point where I was shaking bad in the morning, at work, after work. I still needed to get to the gym, so I would just drink before the gym and kind of control the shakes. But it was just bad.
So who decided to? Did you decide to go to rehab, or did somebody
I did.
force that upon you?
I
Okay.
did. Yeah, no one could make an alcoholic or an addict stop. You know,
Right.
it's impossible.
So what was the turning point that you actually decided to go into rehab? How long ago was this?
That was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So going to rehab actually played a factor in how you're sober?
It helped, but it didn't get me sober.
So when you went out, you started to go back on to drinking and Xanax still?
Yeah, well, when I went to rehab, basically my wife left before I went to rehab, my wife's grandfather passed away. She left the country. I just stopped working. I just couldn't work, you know. I couldn't function at that point. I figured I'd be dead by the time my wife gets back.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I did. I tried hanging myself, and I didn't have the courage to do that, you know. Yeah, she came back. I get emotional thinking about this.
That's good, man. Yeah, it's fine.
She came back, and I just pretty much begged her to help me, you know. It was rough.
Dude, man, more power to you, dude. I mean, dude, it's tough, man. I haven't been in your situation or whatever, but I mean, you know, coming out on here and admitting it, and you told us that you've never been on a podcast before, and dude, I don't have anxiety or whatever, but I have people in my family that have anxiety, and you're coming, onto something that's going to be put on the internet, and you expressing yourself and your feelings, dude, is very, very courageous of you, dude.
Especially nowadays, now more than ever. I mean, anxiety, depression, it's more common than ever. I lived with my mother that was depressed and took Xanax her whole entire life too. And now it seems like even younger generations are have depression and stuff like that. Just the fact that you're admitting what you're going through, and I think most importantly, Ken, obviously there is a reason why you stuck around. You have something to share now, right? I mean, you have a great story, and not only that, you're strong. There's a good reason for you to keep going, right? Your wife, your family.
Dude, that story you just told us, I would have never believed that you would have been sober for 2 years. I mean, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it was rough.
So you went through that attempted suicide, right?
Yeah.
And then your wife got a hold of you, or?
Yeah, so we started calling rehab centers, and I started calling them. Fuck.
Sorry.
I remember this one lady was like, "Are you high right now? Call back when you're sober." And I was like, "No, what the fuck? I'm trying to get help, you know?"
Yeah.
Point is, I got flown out to Colorado. They suggested that I get away from, my town, and I'm glad I went there. It was really nice. It was a $40,000 rehab.
Wow.
Luckily, I had insurance, and I'm only paying 10% of that. But yeah, it was a nice place. I was there for 30 days. When you're in there, there's a meeting every day. AA meeting, NA meeting. That's Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous. There's all kinds of stuff, but it's all basically the same thing. There's 12 steps. Everybody works at 12 steps, and but those meetings in there are basically steps 1, 2, and 3, which are to admit you're powerless and to come to the idea that there's a God that can help you and to accept Him, and that's pretty much what they're going there and say. But the best way to reach the alcoholics in rehab is to tell their stories, how they drink, how their withdrawals are, how they, just how I'm telling my story. Because other people can relate, and you say, "Hey, I'm one of you guys. How did you get sober? I want to get sober too." So that's how that rehab works. They teach you, how to. Well, that's how I learned all this stuff about you can't die from heroin withdrawals, but you can die from benzo withdrawals. So it's a lot of educational stuff on there, but the real challenge is when you get out, it's life.
Yeah.
Because I went for 30 days and I was gonna come back over here. There's people that go in there for like 60 days, which is like you live there, you go to work, and then you come back in there. So, and then they drug test you every time you go back in, make sure you're sober, and keep you on track for like 60 or 90 days, and then you're on your own. But so I was there for 30 days, and I figured I don't have any more withdrawals. I'm good. I can go back home, and every single day I would still obsess about one last drink. I don't know. It's just an obsession. That's if you read the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it tells you exactly how to get sober, steps. But basically, alcoholism is an obsession of mind and body. And so the day I got out of rehab, they drove me to the airport, and I had a beer there. I was like, we can just start with a beer or two here and there, and just...
Before they pick you up?
Yeah, before I took my flight home. And I relapsed the day I got out of rehab. But, I figured 30 days clean, no more withdrawals, just a couple beers, right? It won't hurt, just once in a while. But the next day, when I got home, actually, I was already obsessing over more. And it was just, I went out to get like a bottle of wine and just tried calling it a day. I would go home, and it was just, you lay in bed with, you're just craving more and more, and you're so used to blacking out every day. It's never enough, At that point, I wasn't working, I got back from rehab, and I had no money, but I was a drunk, I needed to get my alcohol. I started pawning my stuff, I started selling my stuff, and I needed to get that, that drinking. got to the point where my wife didn't trust me anymore. She wouldn't let me grab the car, you know. I needed to find an excuse to get out of the house without her coming with me. And I remembered AA's they had closed meetings, you know, where only alcoholics can come in. So that was perfect, you know. I'd grab the car and go to a meeting. So my plan was to go sit through a meeting and then on my way home. She would track me at this point. We had no trust, you know. She would track me at the meeting. As soon as I got out of the meeting, I'll put my phone on airplane mode and go to the liquor store and then come home, you know. Chug the bottle, you know. And that's what got me into getting sober, actually. As I was going and sitting through meetings, there's guys in there that they see new faces, you know. And so you basically get a sponsor to walk you through the steps. And this guy said, you know, I'll sponsor you. And I said, all right, sure, you know. And he's be at this meeting tomorrow at whatever time. I would show up, listen, and I would still go and drink right after, you know, because I'm still obsessed, you know. Eventually, I saw all these sober people. You'll show up at meetings, there's like 80 people there, all sober, you know, and it opens your mind, you know, if they can do it, maybe I can do it too, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, just like Ralphie said, you speaking about your, you know, situation, not holding anything back, and it's gonna help a lot of people because you're not going through it right now, dude. Like, you actually, 2 years sober, dude. I mean, from the story, from what you're telling us, dude, is insane. That's like, it's crazy. But yeah, I want to get to how you became sober, but where did you leave off?
You said somebody sponsored you at the place, and you were motivated by the fact that there were so many people that were sober, and you're like, why can't I?
Yeah. So I started getting this idea in my head that maybe I could get sober, you know. It still seemed pretty far-fetched, like there's no way I can stop, you know. Because there's like sober homes, you know, people going, like 8 people in one house. It's called sober living. There's a bunch of them in Austin, where there's like a home, like a leader, I guess, and everybody has chores. You get drug tested randomly, and they're all about my age. And I figured maybe if I move in there, you know, I can get sober. But I'm married, you know, I'm gonna leave my wife. But maybe that's what I need to do to get sober, right? I remember going to this meeting on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. It's an open meeting for people that question if they're alcoholics or not. And I'm sorry.
No, take your time, man.
And that meeting hit me very hard because basically that meeting is it's 1 hour of them telling their story of what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. And one person tells their whole story, you know, 1 hour, or they try to at least. And at the end of the meeting, they start giving out coins, like for sobriety dates, like who's been sober for a year, 2 years, whatever. And at the end, they're like, "Is there anyone?" Sorry. Yeah, is there anyone that wants to join our way of life? And you know, I raised my hand. And yeah, that's how it started.
So that community right there is what pushed you. It wasn't the Colorado trip. It was.
Yeah, it was the.
It was this group in Elgin that you just so happened to fall upon.
Yeah, it was pretty much the whole program of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I feel like I need to take a
break. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Yeah, we could definitely take a break. Yeah, so I've never really been to one of those meetings, obviously, right? I do find myself, I guess probably nowhere close to the extent that you're feeling or whatever, but the needing for more is probably nowhere close. But I mean, I'm kind of having something like, look, it's not alcohol, eventually it'll kill you, but I kind of have that with food. See, I have anxiety. So my mom has depression, and she's been it was actually postpartum depression is for how it started, and then it just tumbled into something worse.
Yeah.
And I remember her going through the struggles, when we were young. So she, I was like 7 or 8, and she would become very physical with us too, because she was going through her own problems and stuff like that. And she would always tell us that she felt that she was different mentally. She was different than everybody else because she couldn't control herself in the moment.
Right.
And I always thought, because my sister also is depressed, and she had problems growing up too. But now I think that I try to avoid that, because I know it's genetics also, and to think that I could possibly carry some of those genetics that could lead me towards depression. The way I deal with it, which is terrible too, but it's probably better than alcohol, is food. I comfort with food, and I stuff. Even though I'm at my age at 35, I have very bad indigestion. I have heartburn, and I like all fucking Mexican good shit. I like tamales and gorditas, and I'm gonna load it up with the hot shit too. So in a sense, I can kind of understand what you're saying, because today I eat a bunch, dude. I'm eating a bunch. I was watching my calories, because I'm trying to lose weight, obviously, right? And dude, I probably dropped like 4,000 calories, and it was all crap, like tamales and stuff that my tia gave me. And I was outside shoveling snow, dude, and I had nasty heartburn, like terrible fucking heartburn. And I'm like, why the fuck did I do this to myself? I felt like shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's obviously not as bad as alcohol, but I feel like we're all trying to figure out how to fulfill that anxiety, right?
Yeah.
My parents are also going through a divorce right now. So like all that shit, my mom is calling me all the time, my dad's calling me all the time, and I'm like bombarded with stuff, and I find comfort in feeding.
Yeah, there's always somewhere to find comfort. For me right now, that's gym,
Yeah.
Goals I've set on myself. But yeah, I think I want to get back to what I was saying.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
think that's a pretty powerful moment for me. When I said I wanted to be a member, I was honest, join their way of life. I remember going home and stopping at a liquor store, and I just sat there and I was, can I do it? Just for today, is it possible? And I went home, I read the book, and stayed sober the next day. There's all these sayings in AA, like just for today, don't drink just for today, one day at a time. It makes sense. So that's how it was. I was on a roll. It was like 5 days, and I remember I would get these sudden obsessions, and I was like, I'm gonna go drink right now. It's, 5 days, it'd be pretty good. And I would just go to a meeting, At first, I was going like 4 or 5 meetings a day. Cause I was on a roll. I was like 5 days sober. I was, eventually 15 days, 30 days, got my first chip, 2 months, 3 months. When I got to like 4 months, I realized I wasn't obsessed anymore. And that was huge. I realized then I got a second chance at life to do whatever I want. And that's when I got really into fitness. And, I thought about what do I really want to do? What have I dreamed of as a kid, And that's what, remember I was telling you I was working out when I was 13?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to be a bodybuilder. So maybe, maybe for some people it's like a goofy goal or whatever, but it's just, you see these huge guys and it's just motivational. Do I have what it takes to get there, to get to the top? What do they have that I don't? Are they more determined than me? So So they just made a decision to be a bodybuilder. Got a little discouraged, after realizing they're on steroids, but I was still training, and then I found out about powerlifting.
Yeah.
And I realized there's a world record on each weight class. There's a world record on squat, bench, and deadlift. And that's been my goal now. I want a world record. And I had the same questions. Do I have what it takes? Are all these world record holders more determined than I am? It's just huge goal for myself. It's keeping me sober.
This community that you went to, this AA community that you went to in Elgin, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
What was different about it? Because you attended this retreat, right? This sobriety retreat, and it was super expensive, right?
Yeah.
You spent 30 days, and you spent just a couple others and relapsed almost immediately.
Right.
What was it different? You think it was you were ready at the time, and then the group just so happened to come across, or was somebody specifically in the group that turned it around for you?
I think I needed to relapse. I needed to try to drink like a normal person after I got my after that 30 days. I wasn't physically addicted. I needed to try that drinking normally, just 2 beers. I needed to realize that wasn't gonna work. I didn't know that. That wasn't an idea. Like, I'm gonna try it, but I think that helped me realize that I can never just have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So, and also over there, it was like different people were coming every day. Over here, I got to know those people, and they were like real people. It's just got to know them.
Build the relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you still go to those meetings? Do you still hang out with those people?
No, I haven't been there. So basically, the way the steps work, I never believed in God all my life, right? Mm-hmm. And the whole program is about God. And my sponsor told me I have to believe in God in order to be sober. I was desperate enough to, get on my knees and pray and ask whoever's out there to fucking help me.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, it was all about God. I was reading the Bible, going to church, just full blown, all about God. And it went on for a few months, and I got sober. I learned how to live sober, and I realized, just started being myself. Because once you get sober, you don't really know who you are. And I felt like I was being fake. Like, I just started believing in God. That's not me all my life. I know there is no God. And I just felt like, I'm real with myself. There's no God. I know how to live sober. There's a lot. You got to be a good person. You got to stay away from that shit. And it's simple, but in AA it's like, it's kind of like a mind, how would I say this, like a brainwash, I feel. They tell you if you miss a meeting here and there, you're gonna relapse, it's just, and I didn't believe that, if you don't believe in God, you're gonna relapse, and I didn't agree with that. And when you go to meetings, the whole point of going to meetings is to express your opinion, your thoughts. And I would be open about how, maybe I don't believe in God, but I believe in sobriety, I know how to be sober, unlike all you guys, And that was not accepted at all. It was like, if you don't believe in God, we don't like you, And at least most of the people, not everyone in there, But I felt like not accepted, with my beliefs, and I wasn't about to be someone who I'm not, just want to be myself, So I just stopped going to meetings, and I would go once in a while because I was scared to relapse, but after a while I realized that you need to find a purpose in order for you to stay sober. My purpose is to, the goal I set on for myself is to be a world record holder. World record holders don't drink, don't party. You gotta put everything onto your goals, right? And that's where I'm at today.
You find most of your strength now within? Because so I think one of the reasons probably why they attached faith to God is because basically you need faith, right? You need to want to have something for tomorrow. Is whether that is through Jesus, right, or yourself. I think you need to find that power. Did you find that within yourself? Like you had faith in yourself to know that you are able to stay sober, or was there people around you too that helped you through that?
Yeah, pretty much myself, which is opposed to most of what AA says, because I believe that if you stay away from drinking, if you stay away from drinking, you gotta have something, you gotta have something to fill that obsession.
That gap.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So.
Plus, I also think that I would say, right, that if the faith is within you, then you don't have to rely on anybody else, because on your way home from work, you're only by yourself.
Exactly.
So if you can't fight it by yourself, then you're gonna have problems. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like every time I get that thought, I think about my goals. It's like I can't slow down. Like I'm close to like a state record squat right now. I don't mean a lot to me, but it's far from a world record.
What's the world record?
Well, there's a world record total, but world record squat in my weight class is like 750.
750?
Yeah.
So what are you at right now?
600.
600? All right. So
state record is 630.
Oh shit, dude!
You're right there.
You're gonna get that. Yeah. So, you're out of you're sober for 2 years. Your goals are keeping you sober.
Yeah.
So what exactly are your goals?
Well, after being sober for this long, it's just so much easier to stay sober. You learn pretty much to stay away from certain people and whatnot. But my goals are, like I was telling you earlier, I would like to have my own carpentry business. But for now, it's a world record, and I think it's perfect. I don't know.
You definitely are something special, Ken, without a doubt. If you think about the struggle that you've gone through, right? You didn't have the best childhood. You have plenty of stuff to blame shit on. You have plenty of opportunities, and besides that, you're pushing forward. And to be honest, just the fact that you shared it with everybody else is the reason why you are going to get there. Because now you put it out there, and you're going to be able to see this later on and think about what you've gone through. And I know I'm super rooting for you. Are you kidding me? With the struggles you've gone through, when you come back, America loves this story. It's why we love Rocky, right? That they're coming from nothing and coming at the very top.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you deserve it. You deserve it because you've gone through shit. You might have the best years of your life ahead of you if you think about it.
Yeah.
You've gone through the struggle, and now you can climb.
Yeah, and you'd think now that I'm sober for 2 years, it's all like, it's easy, but it's like holidays are probably the roughest. Nobody, everybody drinks on holidays, right? I go to my parents, they're all hiding their liquor. It's just, I can't be around there.
Yeah.
I just to not make them uncomfortable,
Yeah.
just so they can party in peace. But then it's not fair to my wife, she wants to be around family, so it's a little difficult there, Same with friends, I don't really have any friends. How many 24-year-olds, or I guess 26 now? When I got sober, I was 24, but how many 24-year-olds are sober,
Me, I don't drink much. okay, I'm not fully sober. I'll have like a drink, like on rare occasions. But correct, dude. Like I don't have a lot of friends either because they're always hitting me up. Hey, let's go out. Let's go do this. And I'm like, dude, I'm working. I'm busy. I can't. But eventually they start falling off, and I don't have really nobody to kick it with or anything like that.
Yeah. Now that I've gotten so into this powerlifting, I've met other powerlifters that are, not. If you're really into fitness, probably chances are you're not a big drinker or drugger,
That's good.
So I've met a lot of like good people and powerlifting.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had people reach out to you now, trying to help you. I mean, you're pretty close to the state record. I'm sure you probably have someone reaching out to you, trying to get you there.
What do you mean get there?
If you thought about joining any clubs, any powerlifting clubs?
I got a coach. He does all my programming and if you see any of my posts, I'll put like a 3x3. That's all his programming and but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just the coach and it's my determination, I guess.
Yeah. So in order to beat the state record, how would you go about that? Like, how do you do that? So I know you're like training and you're practicing right now.
Yeah.
But is there like an actual like event or like a competition, like a date set for this?
Yeah, I have a competition in 9 weeks.
No shit, where at?
It's in Lombard.
Okay, and can people like go and watch?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, dope. I'm gonna go. What day is it falling?
Not Saturday.
Oh yeah, dude, I'll be there.
Can we have those big billboards like?
Dude, so
It might be like a 6-hour thing though.
well, just give me your spreadsheet, dude. Is it like? So I remember when I used to wrestle in high school, they had like brackets. Is it like a bracket thing? Like if you, how does it work, dude? Explain how the state competition's gonna work.
So it's squat, bench, and deadlift. You get 3 lifts for each squat, bench, and deadlift. It's in that order: squat first, then you bench, then you deadlift. You start with an opener, something fairly easy. Your third lift will be like a maximal attempt. I want to try my second lift to be like the world record on my second lift and the state record. I mean, and then on the third attempt, see if I can go any higher. But that's pretty much how it works. You get 3 lifts, and then everybody rotates so you get your second lift.
Is that a part of your coach's program? Is that like a strategy that you would do your second lift to be the record breaker?
It's usually the third one from what I've seen.
So why would you guys want to switch it up?
Because I want to set the bar high so my record stays up there.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
So you think you have it in you now to be able to get close to crush the state record? You think?
I think so, but like I was telling you earlier, I have to drop a few pounds. I don't know if that'll affect me at all, but
How much you weigh?
I'm right around 205, 207.
207.
The weight class is 198. So
Oh, so you have to make weight?
yeah,
Shit.
each weight class has a record.
So what's your diet, dude?
Right now, I try to eat dirty just to keep up with my calories because I do carbon treats throughout the day.
Define dirty, man.
Like you said, you eat tamales. Yeah, I'll eat a burger and
Yeah, anything?
freaking like 2 bowls of cereal. Yeah, I try to eat as much as I can. I like carbs, a lot of carbs, and yeah, I try to eat as much as I can.
Gallons of chocolate milk.
Yeah, a lot of like cookies and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to get a lot of steak and red meat in there too, but yeah.
So take me through your program. I know you at one time you were doing just like arms, shoulders, right? You were doing like just upper body.
Yeah, so for strength training, it's more squat, bench, and deadlift. So you don't really build muscle. You learn technique and you build strength. You still want to build muscle, right? You want to have a big chest for a big bench or whatever. But if you're in a certain weight class, you can't really put on more muscle. You'll get passed to the next weight class.
That's right.
So you got to build your strength, and it's a little different than bodybuilding. For bodybuilding, I believe you can train 6 to 7 days a week if you rotate everything, perfectly. And but for powerlifting, you kind of got to hit everything hard 4 days in a row, and then recover, 3 days, 2-3 days, and Yeah, that's how it works, and it's the rep schemes are different. You know, you start with like you work with percentages. That's a big key. Programming, you know.
How do you find your max at? Like let's say Ryan and I were gonna be, we're talking about like you're gonna be our coach for us, right? Our very first day into the gym.
Okay.
Well, what would be the first thing that you would do to try to figure out what Ryan and I's max is?
You would need to.
There was a laugh right there.
You would need to
It's not much, Ken.
learn how to squat. You would need to learn how to squat, bench, and deadlift properly for at least 3 months.
With
You get-
low weight.
Yeah, fairly high weight, but not like a maximal attempt. You want to get your form good, and that's when you really know your max. Because if you try and max on your first day and your form is bad, you won't get to max the most out of your 1 rep max attempt. But I mean that's for beginners, you know.
Yeah. So I kind of have like a hunchback a little bit. How's your form? I mean, your form is like perfect when you're squatting and stuff like that. But did you always have a good form, or did you have to like train yourself to, get good form?
Yeah. So I had to ask a guy to teach me how to squat. So I didn't know how to squat, but yeah, when I first started squatting, I couldn't hit depth. My heels would, I would tip forward, and a lot of that was ankle mobility I learned.
Oh, sure.
So I used elevated heel for squats.
What is that?
You like stand on something.
Oh, like they put like 40 like plates, and then they'll stand on plates.
Yeah, just your heel though.
Oh, okay, just your heel.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's also like Olympic lifting shoes which already have an elevated heel.
Oh, okay.
And what that helps is to get that ankle mobility and for when you squat, so you can stay upright. The more upright you can stay with the barbell on your back, the easier it is, to come up.
So how long were you standing on your heels on the plates? Because I see now that you just wear Converse, and I know that they wear like a lot of like squatters. They wear like flat shoes, like Converse and Vans and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I did that for about 3 months until I could get my mobility.
3 months?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it was like, it looked pretty dumb at the gym, because I'd be over here standing on heels.
Yeah.
But I mean, it fucking paid off.
Hell yeah.
How about the deadlift? Is that really simple compared to the squat? Which one is more technically difficult?
I think the squat.
The squat is more difficult.
Yeah.
The squat is, to be honest, bro, like everybody else, the squat is something that for me, it's just something that I've really just seen in the last couple of years, right? It was something like at school, dude, we would never do that. We do like, we wouldn't do squats, I don't think.
Well, no squats. I think like back in when weightlifting first came out, I think the 3 main techniques was squatting, benching, and some other shit. I don't know.
Deadlift. I mean, it's
Deadlift probably.
It's been around for a while. It's just,
It's been around since the Greeks, right?
Yeah.
but it's been blowing up lately. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I think more people are starting to squat and deadlift more.
It's the basic core training, right? It's the big 3 pretty much.
Yeah.
So what would you say it actually works out? Because I mean, a lot of people say that it's like it's a full body workout, right?
Right.
But what would you say it like works out the most?
Squat.
Yeah.
Well, I would say the most quads and glutes.
Quads and glutes.
Your
Yeah.
hamstrings are working. Your back is working, but mostly your quads and glutes. For deadlifts, hamstrings, glutes, and lower back, and then bench. Depends how you position yourself. But there's a lot of tricep and chest, and a lot of back. Actually, you wouldn't think your back is working on bench, but it's a big key.
So it's not bad to use your back when you're working out on bench.
Well, no, you gotta. It's a lot about technique. Like when you unrack, you want to have your lats locked in, and when you're down here, you want to contract them. It's like it's a technique.
Yeah. How so from 2 years ago, so did you have your trainer at like before you were sober or after you were sober?
After the coach, I just got him out.
He said he had somebody already helping him how to properly squat. That was his first step.
Oh,
Yeah, that was about a year.
just a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna ask you, dude. So he went from squatting. What were you squatting a year and a half ago, or a year ago?
Like 2 plates, 225. Yeah.
And now you're at 600.
Yeah.
Is everybody else amazed by that? Or?
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm on steroids. And, you know, I had a lot of supporters there at my gym, and they used to be stronger than me. Now that I got stronger than them, it's like, you know, I don't go back here anymore.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's a lot of
Competition, right?
Yeah, for sure. Everybody wants to be the strongest one, you know.
Yes.
Maybe it's an ego thing, I don't know.
Yeah, especially for I mean, like you, that you always hung around the gym or whatever. Like, it's a way of life, right? Now you're thinking about, forget the podcast. I want to go work out. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think was the biggest thing that helped you through this progression from a year ago to what you're squatting now?
Sobriety, for sure.
Sobriety.
Yeah.
You think you could have been hitting these things a long time ago? You think you could have been hitting this weight 2-3 years ago? It was just being held back by the amount of alcohol that you were
Yeah, I
drinking?
was just drinking. Yeah,
It was like capped power, huh?
no way, yeah. Yeah, definitely sobriety played the biggest role. It's a huge advantage, you know, not a lot of people are sober. I'm sure, like I said, world record people are sober, you know. But I don't know, I feel like I have a huge advantage, you know. I went through all this shit. I hit bottom so hard that, you know, it's giving me like the biggest motivation, you know. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, that's how you start, right? That's how you start. You gotta start from the bottom.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have a freaking great story, man. A great story.
Would you say you still have anxiety?
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
How do you deal with that?
I guess I just
Work out.
yeah. I mean, I always train alone, which doesn't really, you know. Sometimes when I'm going for a heavy lift, I get pretty bad anxiety. I get nauseous, but I feel like that anxiety helps. I don't know. It just keeps me, you know, everything on my toes. But yeah, I think for sure I have bad anxiety, and but you know, I deal with it a lot better than I did when I was a year sober. You know, it was worse back then. You know.
Yeah. What do you think contributes to you overcoming some of your anxiety?
Just experiences, being aware that I have anxiety. You know, that's huge key there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Technically, we're all trying to deal with it in a way. I mean, I feel that's sometimes everybody's overwhelmed, right? It's when rage comes out or sadness comes out because you think about a certain thing and you feel bad.
Is anxiety different? Is there different stages?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just curious on like exactly how you feel when you say that you have anxiety.
I guess I always use the word awkward sometimes. You know, just uncomfortable. Like even conversating with other people. Like,
Yeah.
I never hold a conversation for very long, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm happy isolating. Done that all my life, so. And that's because I've been aware that I have anxiety. It's just, you know, but definitely trying to work on that because you don't wanna be like a public figure and be all fucking anxious. You know what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, you're on. This right here is the first step to it, dude. You're conquering some of your fears, and more power to you, dude. I don't know if I have anxiety or if I feel the same way you do, but I understand. You know, I'm socially awkward too, dude. Me and Ralphie are socially awkward.
Both of us, man.
We grew up in a garage under cars. We never really talked to humans. We became real estate agents maybe 2 years ago, dude. To be a real estate agent, you have to be a people's person, dude. That's like the furthest thing from who me and him are, and we're still working on it, man. And just like you said, that you realize to be a public figure that you have to overcome your fears, dude. We're doing the same thing, you know, like you got to pick up the phone, call this person. I mean, dude, I would freak out, dude. I'd be so scared to pick up the phone and call these people and be like, you know, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I could sell your house. I've never done a deal in my life, you know, and it's just like, I need to get this done. I'm gonna do it, and it's just step by step, dude. You pick up the phone once, it's like, all right, you know, they yelled at me, they're pissed off. I pick it up again, and it's just, you know, you keep repeating it and shit, dude, and you know, it just slowly gets better and better, man. But yeah, dude, more power to you. You're on here. It's all out there. I don't know if you've talked to other people about this before. I mean, definitely not online. You said this, you know, wasn't your first. This was your first podcast. So.
Not online, no. When I was going to meetings, I would tell parts of my story here and there, and I was asked to speak in front of a crowd to tell my story. And I did that. That was pretty rough, you know. You thought I got emotional here. That was rough right there.
Yeah.
So I was pretty fresh into recovery, and yeah, it was a good experience. I got a lot of good feedback, you know. A lot of people thanked me for sharing my story, because that's what got me in there. When I heard someone else's story and I said, I want to join the way of life. You know, that's why I did it. That's why I'm open about it. You know, in case anyone else hears it, you know, maybe they're struggling with addiction. You know,
Hell yeah,
there's a way out. You know, there's a way to live sober, and you know, you can have a second chance at life. You know, you can go for your true goals, and I don't know. It's just motivating, you know.
Dude, it's super motivating, dude. I'm super motivated, dude. You hit rock bottom, and now you're just going straight to the top, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, now I know now a lot of people recognize how special you are. So I think you're gonna have even more support, right?
That's what I've been getting, a whole lot of support, you know, from all, you know, just yeah.
It's a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you, because even though you think that that it was terrible, right? It was terrible for you. You can use it as a major building block for your future. And can you imagine the story that you just gave, and you're holding a world record, and they have, I mean, that's how personalities are built, through like struggle, like I told you, right?
Yeah.
Like every hero has a problem. You know what I'm saying? You just went through your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you're gonna have major support from a lot of people, and we hope the very best for you, man. I mean, I know, I can imagine it's a constant struggle. You know.
Yeah, it's rough. There's always these moments where I'm just, you know, fuck it. What if I just drink? You know, no one will know. You know.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just.
Still to this day.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I still crave it. You know, I see your bottles over there. Yeah.
No, you asked me about it, but I didn't know about your story.
Yeah, I mean, I love drinking. You know, that's why I couldn't stop, right?
So I have a quick question. So when the family parties and stuff like that, you said, you know, it's hard for you to go to family parties, and you know, it's hard to be around alcohol, dude. I understand, like, that's one reason why I don't go out either, because it's like, well, they're like, yeah, you only could have one beer, and it's like, no, dude, I'm not gonna just have one beer, you know, it's like, I wanna go out and drink,
Yeah.
or like, oh, you don't even have to drink, and it's like, dude, who goes to a bar and doesn't drink?
Yeah.
But my question is, if you're not trying to surround yourself around that, the shirts, dude, there has to be a meaning behind the shirts,
Yeah.
man, because you have the Buddy Light, which is Bud Light, that's Budweiser. Are these custom shirts? Did you make them? I mean, how can you not surround yourself around it, but it's on you?
Well, like this one says deadlifter instead of Budweiser.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw these guys at a expo in Columbus, Ohio, and to me it means, you know, deadlift instead of drinking. You know,
That's awesome, dude.
but I mean, for other people it's just drinking. You know, but yeah, for me it has.
Dude, that's badass. So you got that? Is that custom made? Is that yours?
No, it's not custom made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So some guys used to.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, they have a lot of this kind of stuff.
All right.
Well, what is your who's your inspiration? Because I know, is it Ohio? Where's what is it? West Side Barbell or?
Yeah, that they're
That's your gym?
no, my gym.
Are they in Ohio or?
They are in Ohio, yeah.
Where you went to that expo or?
This was I got it at the Arnold Classic. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's by there. It's in March, a week before my competition, so I probably won't go this year. But
I did my homework and I watched a Netflix special on that place, and it's like invitation only or whatever, only
Yeah.
like huge dudes. Which, I mean, shit, you're a prospect, dude. If they start seeing you, maybe you can be in that group. I noticed that a lot of those guys that are really in the powerlifting or whatever are taking a lot from, is it Russian Olympic weight training?
that's how Westside Barbell started. Yeah,
Okay.
they get a lot of their training and they customized it. Louis Simmons, he's the guy that he trained a bunch of world record holders in that gym.
Who was your inspiration to get better?
Just there's a lot.
So many?
There's a lot of strong guys out there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's because I started seeing you, right? But now I feel like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I see you like everywhere. Now I'm like,
Pops up on your YouTube record.
yeah, now I'm pops up on my YouTube because now obviously I'm starting to search without searching for to be able to talk to you. But something to do with I never sweated in my life, to be honest with you. The only thing I've ever had was dumbbells, a curling bar,
Yeah.
and a bench for bench press. Never even thought ever about squatting. And then I started like researching, how to lose body fat or whatever, and the advantages of like training your core through deadlifting and squatting and stuff like that. And then for me now, I think like for me it's time too. I'll go to the gym, but I only have like half hour, 45 minutes. So I need to get my shit like done like fast.
Yeah, powerlifting. I'm in it for 2, maybe 3 hours. Yeah, you need like 5-minute rest, 2 heavy sets. But it's a fun way to switch up your training if you're looking to try something different. Yeah.
So if you were going to give somebody some advice to try to improve, let's say, their bench, well, how would you go through that process? Would you just do the old typical like slowly start adding 5 pounds every week, or?
No, first, what I would do, I would work on technique. Once your technique is down, see where your 1 rep max is at, and then take a couple months to get some volume work in, and
What kind of volume?
like 5x5s, go like get closer to like heavy triples, heavy doubles, and then try your 1 rep max. Just improve your technique. If you gain weight, if you start getting stronger, your technique will change a little bit.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy because I started researching that a little bit because I've never even been able. Well, I probably have, but I never tried to max out bench. Probably since like high school, probably.
Yeah.
I've never even tried. And I know
Well, it's probably because you don't have a spotter too,
Yeah.
right? That plays an important factor, right? Having
Right.
somebody to spot you.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, you train, three different type of movements. It's all with a barbell, right? So I mean, you kind of have to have somebody there supporting you.
I don't try my 1 rep max till like 2 or 3 months at a time.
Okay.
So I do all my training alone. Every time I'm at the gym, it's empty.
So the Instagram stuff, the people that help you, are just like, hey, bro, come over here.
Yeah, sometimes I'll.
Oh shit! I thought those were like your boys.
No,
That's crazy.
they're cool people. I like.
So how much you just benching by yourself?
The most I tried was like 365. Yeah,
How many reps?
just a paused single 1 rep max.
Okay.
that's so different, man.
Yeah.
That is so different because we were all told to do like 8 to 12. That's like everybody tells you 8 to 12, and when you get to 12, you got to increase weight.
To build muscle, yeah, you don't need to know what your 1 rep max is. You don't need to train heavy. It's different. Like powerlifting and bodybuilding, it's 2 different sports. Yeah.
So how often are you doing this training by yourself and then hitting the big weight?
I guess he's asking how many times you peak.
Yeah, like every 2 or 3 months.
Okay, every 2 or 3 months. Okay.
Yeah, so I just peaked at 600-pound squat, 6 deadlift, and a 405 bench.
How did the 600 feel?
It felt better than I thought. Yeah, the deadlift was rough.
Tough.
Yeah.
So back in the day, this is how I started getting into body. Obviously, I was never anywhere close to as much into bodybuilding as you, but I got the movie Pump and Iron from my library, because maybe I should have been next to a gym, because I grew up next to a library, and I got this movie on VHS, and I watched it, and I thought, at that time I didn't even know Arnold had like a previous life. I remember him from like all the
Terminator
stupid movies and
shit.
stuff, right? And I'm like, this guy is freaking awesome, and he's like, oh, I love the bump, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool, whatever. So I started working out or whatever, and years later, I started realizing that all those guys were on steroids,
Yeah.
right? But they were almost they're like on isolation, right? That's what you're doing, because they're doing like, think about the muscle, think about, like,
Yeah, that's
like,
bodybuilding right there.
that's bodybuilding. How much different do you think it would be if one of those guys were to switch over? The reason I'm asking you this, right, is because after that, then I started checking out all the bodybuilders, and at the time it was Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler or whatever, when they had their feud or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jay Cutler was, another huge dude, right? And he just so happened to be next to a dude that was probably the greatest of all time or whatever.
Yeah.
But Ronnie was lifting fucking super heavy.
Yeah.
Back when he was still in competition.
Yeah, a lot of people bash Ronnie because he's in a wheelchair now, and but there's not many bodybuilders that lift heavy, but Ronnie was one of them.
Yeah. So I watched a couple of interviews on him or whatever, and they asked him why he lifted so heavy, because they think that's one of the reasons. Because I guess he's had like 8 back surgeries or something like that, something crazy. He's like he's not the same Ronnie anymore, I guess is what they say or whatever. Do you ever worry about that? Do you ever worry about what you're putting your body through?
Yeah, but I mean, do the other people worry about it? The people that have made it to the top.
No, bro. Fuck no.
You try to be safe. If you feel something hurting, then maybe call it a day, and try. Just for sure play it safe.
Yeah. I think about that shit because one, just like you, right? I need to be physically active every single day, and I'm like, shit. If I am unable to move, it kind of messes up my the money, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got to be careful how much, and then. For example, you have a long time training. You understand your body probably really well because how you grew up. I'm a 35-year-old old man that's trying to lose some fat. It's like completely different. But I would be interested in looking, maybe not powerlifting, right? But maybe a program that I could build strength and at the same time be somewhat safe.
Yeah, there's like power building programs where it's like a mixture of both, but yeah, it's always fun to try a program that's to follow. Like sometimes you'll walk into the gym not feeling so good, but you got this stuff you need to do in the program, right?
Yeah,
That helped me out too.
How about your supplements, man? What kind of stuff are you taking?
I just try to get in like 300 grams of protein a day. Just regular, pre-workout. I'll take creatine. Creatine pre-workout, yeah. And yeah, that's about it.
300 grams of protein, how much of it is shakes?
About half.
Half?
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to get.
Hell yeah, dude, it's hard to find
It's a
protein.
lot of chicken breast, right?
Yeah. What protein? What brand?
Roll one. I mean, as long as it's whey protein.
Yeah. I didn't know if you're like sponsored by a protein or something
Soon
like
to
that.
come, man.
Yeah, dude. Do you ever think about that?
Protein
Yeah,
shake,
for sure.
man.
That's why I try and put myself.
Dude, maybe
out
you
there.
can start like maybe you could start making like logos like that and shit.
These
dude.
guys reach out to me all the time.
Hell yeah, dude! I would do that shit all day long.
You can
and push your message behind it
you
too.
know, and you just need to get to the point where you're gonna hit the state record. So then people are gonna be asking, just like us, like. We think that a couple of shakes, that the same shakes that you're taking, we're gonna be able to squat the same shit that you're squatting. We're gonna buy that shit.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's
right?
how it works, bro. That's like everybody's got their own supplements, right? It's just I'm sure it's all just repackaged, same probably product. It's just repackaged
Right.
with somebody else's name on it.
Yeah, but you also want to support.
The dude.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, like, you know, one is, you know, your story and shit, or, you know, if whatever you know, decide to do in the future, if you decide to, you know, help people weight lift or whatever it is, I'm sure you're going to provide some type of value to them and they're going to automatically, I mean, that's how I am. Like, I watch YouTube videos and I'm like, dude, this guy helped me a shit ton, you know, and I need the product anyways. Why go anywhere else?
Yeah.
And then they just buy it off him. If you get your own protein, dude, I'm buying it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell yeah.
I buy Optimum Nutrition right now, so it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
I'd be down to whatever has Ken.
Yeah,
Ken Nunez name.
and then if it has the badass logo on it too, shit, I'm gonna be.
You should do something like that. Yeah.
I mean, hell yeah, and then because it's a personal brand, dude, you're that's why I asked you the question, dude. I knew like that's some powerful shit, man.
It
like,
fits.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
it's brand, dude. I've never seen it, so like you could easily push that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a story like that. It's crazy, and we got it.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's
man.
awesome.
Yep. All right, man. You have any other questions for Ken? Dude. Shit, dude. I think this is one of our best podcasts for
Yeah.
sure.
We came in
Easily, man.
when I saw your bio and it said sober dude. I didn't think it was like that, man. I didn't think it was like that. I
Yeah.
just thought it was like, you know, just.
Something.
I stopped getting drunk with my boys. That's what I thought.
Well, you said that in the beginning of the podcast. Everybody drinks a couple beers, and then it's like, yeah, dude, that shifted.
All right, so you, like everybody else, you probably start drinking, I don't know, 17, 16, right? Whenever you can get your hands on it, you start drinking. At least I did.
You looked at the bowl. Yeah.
And then it progresses to when you're in school and you're ditching school to go get drunk or whatever. But I mean, when it consumes your life and like it did for you, I mean, it has long-term effects or whatever, and you have to go through that or whatever. But again, it's a solid foundation, because if you just stick to that core, that the stuff that you've learned through that,
Yeah.
dude, shit, you can move mountains, or a lot of weight
Physically.
right? You can move a lot of weight or whatever. I mean, you're pretty much just being held back by that. And then you emerged into this fucking rock star. I consider you a rock star, bro. I'm like, when I started seeing the amount of weight that you're doing, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, it was like super impressive, man.
It's far from world record, but
Yeah.
it's getting up there. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of people that invest just as much time, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, hey, you've been doing this since you were 13, you said, so you got nothing handed to you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you've been building your whole entire life for this moment. Now everybody is gonna see you. Now everybody's gonna know who you are and what you've gone through.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, man. Super excited. You got anything else for Ken, man?
No, dude.
This
man.
guy's gotta go, bro. He's gotta fucking make games,
I know,
bro.
he's-
He's gotta
yeah.
pump an iron, man.
Yeah, dude, thanks. It was nice meeting you, man. Thank you so much for sharing your story, dude. And like I said, yeah, I do have a question. Why did you want to go on our podcast?
Actually, I asked him. He didn't want to come on.
I know you didn't. I know that you didn't want to go on. Was it for us, or did you want to push your message out there, or did you want people to know
Yeah,
a certain thing?
That would be a good idea to be open about what it was like, you know, and what got me to all this ambition, you know, because this is what I'm all about. If you follow me on social media, that's all you'll see.
Yeah.
I like that.
And, you know, there's a big story behind that, and, you know, this is for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I can tell you. Well, first is I want to thank you for coming on when you didn't want to, and your idea behind inspiring somebody. If nobody gets inspired out there, you inspired, I know, me and him. So thank you for that, dude. I really appreciate that.
I want to be Ken Nunez now, man. That's gonna be the thing. You know, like I'm gonna be like Mike. I want to be like Ken Nunez. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, well, I think it's gonna take you a little while to get up to 600.
Probably. I don't even trying to be.
What do you think? What do you think the most you can hit?
I have no idea. This guy's a better chance. But
no.
First off, I'm not trying to get to 600.
You never know. There's guys that look out of shape and have some crazy strength. So
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I mean you can have some big potential, but you never know until you try, right?
Don't try to motivate me like that, bro. Then I'm gonna.
He's gonna hit me up one day like, dude, I'm in the hospital, dude. I tried doing a plate on the bar.
One last question before we wrap this up or whatever. How much of powerlifting do you think is somewhat genetics? Like it's kind of like, you know, a certain body structure that can get you there?
Yeah.
And how much of it do you think is actually hard work?
I don't know, maybe half genetic.
Half genetic?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta have decent. I mean, I don't know. It's questionable, right?
Yeah.
You were probably never worried about it, right? Did you have anybody in your family that was a weightlifter?
No.
A lot of Spanish people that I talk to that are like weightlifters or like big, they're always like, yeah, nobody in my family. Like even your guy.
Cool.
The guy that used to work on the forklift.
Oh, Miguel?
Yeah, Miguel. Yeah, when you asked him, because he's a big guy, and you were like, anybody in your family, like, is it genetics? And he's like, he had to think. And he's like, yeah, no. He was like, I was really skinny. So I mean, yeah, dude. I guess it's not your genetics if you're trying to find an excuse. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Dude, again, just what Ryan said, man, we appreciate you coming out here, sharing your story, being 100% open and honest on your experiences and what your life has been like. We are super excited to see what's to come with you, bro. We're super inspired by your Instagram. I'm super inspired by your Instagram. I started lifting weights, just a couple of months ago. You know, from the elliptical machine to lifting weights, and a lot of it had to do with. Just like you said, the people you surround yourself with, and I started seeing, all this weightlifting and weight loss or whatever, really super motivating. Yeah, dude. And when I scroll through Instagram and I see you freaking hitting 600 pounds, and I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? I gotta get in the gym. And so I mean, that's inspirational, like, dude. On so many levels, you can inspire people, and I'm sure that's what's pushing you, man. So get out there and do whatever you have to do to hit that record, dude. Ken, could you tell everybody where to follow you, man?
Ken Nunez on Instagram.
Okay, you have a Facebook, or you really don't frequent Facebook?
Yeah, I don't really use Facebook.
Yeah, it's just the IG for us.
I'm wondering when the YouTube channel's coming up, because
I've been thinking about it. Maybe get one of these cameras.
That's what we gotta do, bro. We'll start off. Yeah, dude. We're gonna start off with a vlog with you. Get you real nice, and then you're gonna take it from there and rock the world. Yeah, dude, document that shit. Everything.
Yeah, everything. Cool. I'll try it.
Yeah. And then it keeps you accountable. And then just like you said, in like your captions and stuff, why you put your videos up of you like your form and stuff.
Yeah, definitely look at my form when we points. Yeah.
For sure. All right, guys, this has been episode number 17 with the Beast, Ken Nunez. We will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you.
All right.
How'd it go, dude?